cost $250, but it's only $50. The woman loved this bargain, but the owner hesitated to sell, offering a free dog instead. Anyway, little did they know, this dog was truly one of a kind. Ignored its bowl, scattering food all over the floor, then lay flat, devouring like a starving beast. Surprisingly, they could hear its howls 2 floors away, continuing late into the night until he carried her to bed. The next day, before he woke, his face was already washed. And the dog had shredded the pillow completely. Cotton flew everywhere. The room looked like a snowstorm hit it. Go crazy, jumping all over. After rain, they opened the garage and were shocked. The tidy garage now looked like a tornado hit. Even the walls had three large holes bitten out. As it grew, the couple's nightmare was just beginning. Their days chasing after the dog, finally raising it, but its mischief never lessened. One day it stole the wife's necklace while they weren't looking. They found it had swallowed the whole thing. To save the gift, he fed it mangoes to pass quickly, then rinsed with a water gun, before reluctantly putting the smelly necklace back on his wife. To change their dog's mischievous nature, the couple decided to enroll it in obedience classes. Evidently demonstrated, and the dog seemed obedient. It broke free and ran wild. Frustrated, the trainer used his ultimate command. The dog quickly ran back, but the trainer felt something was off. Before he could react, the dog leapt onto him, knocking him to the ground. Luckily, the man rushed over, finally bringing the trainer back to his senses. The couple decided to have him neutered, but the clever dog seemed to understand their plan. He became restless in the car, sticking his head out the window, struggling to escape. The man held onto his hind legs tightly, creating quite a spectacle on the street. Passers-by joked, "That's an unusual way to walk your dog." Though neutering failed, the woman soon became pregnant. The couple hugged excitedly, but at the hospital checkup, the doctor said the fetus had no heartbeat. Joy instantly turned to tragedy. The couple was devastated, feeling hopeless about the hopeless. But at home, their usually mischievous dog behaved differently. Sensing the wife's sadness, he lay on her lap to comfort her. Unable to hold back, she hugged the dog and cried bitterly. Finally releasing their pent-up emotions to escape the gloom, the couple decided to take a spontaneous trip. Their dog-loving cousin to dog sit. As soon as they left, the dog bolted out the door, dragging the cousin around the yard wildly. The shower, he chased her, frantically biting her towel. Cousin worked all night. Later, the cousin was completely won over by the dog, ignoring even his destructive behavior. Finally, when the couple returned, the cousin couldn't wait to leave. She complained non-stop, calling him a wolf in sheep's clothing. The dog seemed to agree, whimpering in response, as saying, I wander off now that the owners are home. The dog had finally calmed down quite a bit, but late that night, he suddenly became agitated and restless again, first rummaging through boxes and cabinets, then running to the woman's bedside, circling endlessly. The next day, when the man returned from work, the dog kept jumping on her, as if it had discovered something. This unusual behavior alerted the couple. The woman used a tissue, realized the dog had sensed she was pregnant again. From then on, for a long time, the dog stopped being mischievous and always stayed quietly by the woman's side. When the woman was about to give birth, he jumped on the bed to wake the sleeping man, then helped unpack the baby items. Before leaving for the hospital, the man tossed a toy bone. The dog, no longer destructive, anxiously played with it, waiting for their return. Finally, the next day, the dog received good news as the woman brought the baby near. Seeing little master, he was puzzled at first, wondering why this new thing was so small. But soon, smelling the newborn, the dog's eyes suddenly showed unprecedented tenderness. He silently watched the little master, never taking his eyes off. After the baby's birth, the dog changed completely, staying by the little master's side daily, like a loyal nanny. 3 years passed. The man often took him to the beach. Today, wanting the dog to run free, he quietly unleashed him when no staff were around. The dog immediately ran towards the sea, completely free like when he was young, enjoying himself in the water. The other dog owners, infected by his joy, also unleashed their dogs, letting them all run freely into the sea to play. But soon the dog reverted to type, unable to resist relieving himself in water. What was a happy beach outing ended with police arriving and issuing fines. Home, the man was both angry and amused, telling the dog, "Though you helped raise my 3 kids, you're still the most annoying dog in the world." But he said it with a smile. His hands kept petting the dog, his eyes full of love. Soon after, they moved to a suburban villa where the kids grew up. The dog, like a big brother, played with them daily, bringing joy. Him pant heavily, often lying motionless on the floor for long periods. Often leave home to die alone, quietly waiting. But the man believed in his dog's strength, recalling his youth when he'd eat loads, cause mischief, always full of life. The man believed the dog would pull through. Next day the hospital called. The dog recovered, ready to go home. His first act? Waiting for the kids after school, ever the guardian. But good times were short. Dog's health declined rapidly. He'd rummage through trash for food like an elderly person, not even responding when his owner called. Each step seemed a struggle. Them felt heartbroken, so he stopped, letting the dog rest. Knew the dog had given them years of love and devotion. He told the dog, when the time comes, don't hide it. He'll share the burden with the dog. The dog looks at him lovingly, eyes full of gratitude and reluctance. In the sunset's afterglow, man and dog quietly enjoy their final moments together. Soon after, the dog's condition worsens. He lies on the cold floor, not eating or drinking. The man believes the dog will recover, so he stays by his side. But days pass, and the dog's condition doesn't improve. Unable to bear it, the man decides to take him to the hospital again, even if it bankrupts them, even with just a 1 in 10,000 chance. Seeing the dog's pain, the children can't help but cry. The little girl gives him her favorite doll, hoping it will help the dog get better quickly. Soon, the couple carried the dog to the car. Before leaving, the wife repeatedly kisses the dog's forehead, tears streaming down her face. For over a decade, the dog grew from mischievous to wise, becoming a cherished part of his heart. This separation feels as painful as losing a first child. At the hospital, despite the doctor's best efforts to save him, this time the dog doesn't pull through. To reduce the dog's suffering, the doctor suggests euthanasia. As the end nears, the man is heartbroken. He places the little girl's doll in the dog's arms, stroking every inch of the dog's fur, then kisses the dog affectionately, saying his final goodbye. Hearing his owner's words, the dog wants to lick his hand one last time, but even with his last ounce of strength, he can only raise his head with difficulty, trying to etch his master's face in his memory forever. As the medicine is injected, the dog's rapid breathing slowly calms. His dark eyes, gentle as water, seem to comfort his master, urging him not to grieve. Time passes indistinctly. The last of the medicine is used up. His owner's gentle caresses the dog closes his eyes, as if falling asleep. The next day they bring the dog home for a funeral. Each child offers a gift, saying goodbye to their companion. The wife removes her lifelong necklace, a witness to the dog's life and their shared memories. She throws it into the grave, hoping it will keep the dog with them forever, wherever he goes. Finally, the man buries the dog himself. As he turns to leave, memories of the dog flood his mind. He envisions the dog happily by their side, the family together, never to be separated.